Good morning, and welcome back to America's Leaders from Coast to Coast, the 250th anniversary edition. Today is day 54 of the year, Monday, February 23, 2026. I'm Stephen.
And I'm Leah.
We are heading back down to the Lone Star State today, Texas. We are looking at District 10, which cuts a massive path right through central Texas, stretching from the high-tech corridors of Austin all the way toward the massive energy hubs of Houston. And today, we are profiling a man who has fundamentally shaped American national security for the last 20 years, Republican Representative Michael McCaul.
Stephen, this is a bittersweet profile to do right now, because we are officially in the final stretch of the McCaul era. Back in September of 2025, he shocked the political world by announcing he is not seeking re-election. After 11 terms in Congress, he is retiring at the end of this year, so the 119th Congress is his farewell tour. And he is leaving behind an absolutely colossal legislative footprint. Before he ever ran for Congress, he was a federal counterterrorism prosecutor. He brought that exact intense threat assessment mentality to Washington, eventually chairing the Homeland Security Committee and then the incredibly powerful House Foreign Affairs Committee.
He really is the ultimate old guard traditional Republican foreign policy hawk. He views the world very clearly. You have the United States and its democratic allies, and you have the axis of evil in China, Russia, and Iran. And in his final term here in 2025 and 2026, he is operating as the Chairman Emeritus of Foreign Affairs. But Leah, he is finding himself increasingly at odds with the isolationist wing of his own party.
He absolutely is. Over the last few years, a huge portion of the Republican base has moved toward an America First, isolationist stance, questioning why we are sending weapons overseas or defending foreign borders. Michael McCaul violently disagrees with that approach. When the massive foreign aid packages were up for debate, McCaul gave these incredibly dramatic floor speeches, asking his colleagues if they wanted to be Winston Churchill or Neville Chamberlain. He basically bullied his own party into continuing to support Ukraine and Taiwan. He truly believes that if America retreats from the world, dictators will just fill the vacuum.
And that belief has put him on a direct collision course with the new administration right now. Let's look at his relationship with the Chinese Communist Party. McCaul hates the CCP. He is so fiercely supportive of Taiwan that the Chinese government actually placed personal sanctions on him. Well, recently, the new administration floated the idea of granting export licenses to American tech companies like NVIDIA and AMD, allowing them to sell advanced semiconductor chips to China in exchange for a 15% revenue cut for the U.S. government.
And McCaul went ballistic over this. Just last month, in January 2026, he held a massive hearing titled "Winning the AI Arms Race Against the Chinese Communist Party." He publicly warned the administration that allowing China to buy our most advanced microchips has the, quote, optics of selling our national security. He argues that you cannot put a price tag on the artificial intelligence tools that China will use to build their military. He is using his final months in office to make sure the U.S. doesn't sell the rope that our adversaries will use to hang us.
He is also taking aggressive action against Russia. Just 2 weeks ago, in mid-February 2026, he introduced a bipartisan bill called the DROP Act, the Decreasing Russian Oil Profits Act. This is a very targeted piece of legislation that mandates brutal secondary sanctions on any foreign person or company that buys or imports Russian crude oil. He said very clearly that Russian energy is the lifeblood of the Kremlin's war machine, and the only way to stop Putin's bloodshed in Ukraine is to completely bankrupt him.
And we also have to talk about his domestic legacy, because it completely changed the economy of his home district. McCaul was the original author of the Chips for America Act. That was the massive bipartisan bill designed to bring semiconductor manufacturing back to the United States so we wouldn't have to rely on supply chains in Asia. Because of that bill, tens of billions of dollars in new factories and high-paying jobs have flooded into Central Texas. Places like Taylor, Texas, are booming right now because of the Samsung expansions that McCaul's legislation subsidized. He essentially turned his district into the new Silicon Valley,
which makes his district an incredible prize for whoever replaces him. Texas 10 is a very safe, solid Republican district. Donald Trump won it comfortably. With McCaul stepping down, there is a massive, wide-open Republican primary happening right now to see who will take over. But they are going to have massive shoes to fill. You don't just easily replace 22 years of seniority in international diplomatic relationships.
He has hinted that he wants to stay involved in national security after he leaves office in 2027, so we probably haven't seen the last of him in Washington.
The counterterrorism prosecutor who took the gavel of foreign affairs.
The hawk who brought the microchip industry back to Texas.
That is Representative Michael McCaul. That is our profile for Texas, 10th District. Stay tuned for our next profile. Please note AI assists in the creation of this podcast from pointedwords.com, and remember, better pointed words than pointed swords.